Back when it was first launched in 2021, COVID had brought the world to a grinding halt. Social distancing was a thing, and I remember driving it and thinking, wow, this feels and rides like an SUV. I guess a lot of folks also thought the same way, because the Punch, ladies and gentlemen, has been a runaway success. Competitors have tried, but they've all fallen short. And now Tata has made their job a whole lot harder with a facelift. The changes you'll first see are of course on the outside. The vertically stacked headlamps are new, the LED DRLs are new, the bumper is revised, and these alloys get a new design as well. The tail lamps are now connected and the rear bumper has been updated too. All very standard for a facelift. But under the hood are two changes you don't normally see in a facelift. We will get to that in a bit. But let's first talk about what has made the Punch so successful. Two things, space and ride quality. Remember how I said it felt like an SUV? Yes, it did and still does. It has that Tata DNA in how the suspension is tuned. It makes driving on bad roads far more pleasant than it usually is in a small car like this. I've been driving the Punch for most of the day today, and what I can tell you is that this continues to stay very, very comfortable. I was reminded again of just how comfortable the Punch is and how well its suspension sort of soaks up everything that our roots provide it. And which is very uncharacteristic of a car this size. So kudos to Tata. They have really been able to get their DNA from the big SUVs down to something like the Punch. And this very easily is the most comfortable car in the segment. It has this very Tata quality of being able to carry good speeds over really bad roads. There's a lot of poise and there's a lot of body control, not a lot of upwards and downwards movement when you're going over broken sections of road, which is great, which makes it easy for you to drive at a relatively high speed. Now, with the CNG and the AMT, this makes for an effortless driving experience. However, if you want some fun, you have to go with this powertrain, which is the 1.2 litre Turbo Petrol. And the Punch has been engineered from the get-go for more space. It easily has more space than the competition. The doors open wide to make it easy to get in, and now these fabric seats get under-thigh support to make it even more comfortable. So space and comfort were taken care of, but there was one thing missing. This naturally aspirated 1.2 litre petrol engine only produced 88 horsepower, and that did not give the Punch enough punch. But Tata has now decided to plug the 1.2 litre turbo petrol from the Altroz and put it here. This produces 120 horsepower and makes it the most powerful car in the segment. The numbers are all great, but how does it perform in the real world? 120 PS and 170 Nm, those numbers do sound impressive and they're actually class leading. But that's not the thing that you need to know about the Punch's Turbo Petrol. What makes it fun is this surge of torque from around 2000 RPM that sort of stays with you. The gear lever's action is also good, the clutch is light, but there is one big problem with this powertrain. It is just too noisy. I think you can probably hear some noise coming through in the microphone as well. There is no automatic option for the turbo petrol engine. I wish Tata would add a torque converter automatic at some point. But you know what they say, if wishes were horses. And on the subject of wishes, there are some that Tata has fulfilled. I've never understood why car makers went years without offering the option of AMT on their CNG powered cars. Why make the buyer choose between fuel efficiency and convenience? Tata was the first car maker to offer such a combination in India with the Tiago, and now they've done the same here with the Punch. I've been driving the Punch CNG with AMT in traffic for a short while now, and I can already tell that this is going to make a big difference when it comes to how easy it makes the CNG Punch in traffic. It does get paddle shifters, but they are pretty slow, so you'd be better off just putting it in auto. If that hadn't sold you, there are the new features. Number one is this 10.25-inch display, 360-degree cameras, new TFT instrument cluster, a digital IRVM, 8-speaker audio system, an air purifier, and even 65-watt charging. And finally, as with any new Tata, there is no compromise on safety. The Punch continues to be 5-star Bharat NCAP rated, and Tata has gone ahead and made it even safer. 6 airbags, TPMS and hill hold are now standard, and higher trims get hill descent control, a blind spot monitor, and an auto dimming IRVM. I have been praising the Punch all this while, but it is not perfect. The Punch might have a lot going for it, but refinement, especially on the Turbo Petrol, is not as good as competitors. Same goes for fuel efficiency. The ARAI numbers might be close to its competitors, but in practice, it just isn't that frugal. Then there are the choices that add up. I like the fact that the Punch now gets a blind view monitor that comes on when you have the turn indicator on. The problem is that the feed now takes up the entire infotainment display, and it gets annoying when you are navigating using Google Maps. Then there is the touch-sensitive panel for the climate control, lock unlock and 360-degree camera. The buttons on the last gen Punch were so much better. So what's the verdict on the new Punch? The 2 USPs are still there, and the one chink in its armor has been taken care of by the new Turbo Petrol engine. And there is a new AMT gearbox with the petrol CNG powertrain. There are a whole bunch of new features, and it is covered on the safety front as well. Prices have not really gone up by much, with the base variant starting at Rs 5.59 lakh and the top spec variant costing 10.54 lakh. I'm sure the Punch facelift will continue to sell like hotcakes.